Hey everybody, good afternoon and welcome to Bull City Hangout 425. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter, that's Durham, North Carolina's online community paper. And right now with Bull City Hangout, I tell you what's happening today in Durham and invite you to join me on camera to share information or hang out or whatever. First order of the day, happy birthday to my sister Cookie. I won't tell you how old she is, but we've been through a lot separately and together, and she's always been there for me. And I just want to wish her a very, very happy birthday. We will talk soon. I think at 3 o'clock my time, I will be seeing you online. So with that, happy birthday, Cookie. Okay, second order of the day, Ramadan Mubarak to all of our Muslim friends. By the way, I just saw a video by Imam Joshua Salam. He's over the Center for Muslim Life at Duke. He's also a member of the rap group Native Deen, and he's the co-founder of Deen TV, which you can find at deen.tv, by the way. But the video, it's his latest one. It's called Walk Like a Muslim, and it's just all around Duke, and there's Duke students, and you see different buildings in Duke, the chapel, the Center for, Center for Muslim Life. Right there in the video, it's really awesome, so check it out. I saw it on Deen TV, but you can actually find it also on YouTube. So yes, that was awesome. Okay, now let's go on to some things happening today and tomorrow here in Durham. Let me go to the Let's Go page of the Durham Skywriter, durhamskywriter.com. The Let's Go page is the calendar of events page. So let me scroll down to April 25. Okay, so the Durham County Democratic Party is holding its county convention and business meeting, in fact, right now, from noon to 2. If you actually meant to go and you want to leave and check that out, that's fine. You can watch the meeting on the Durham Dems Facebook page. The link can be found on the Let's Go page. So if you want to leave and attend that, definitely by all means do that. This will be on replay on both YouTube and Facebook. Okay, now this is really hip. Robert Green is a professional dancer and choreographer, and he's going to hold a hip hop dance masterclass on Zoom later today from 5 until 6:30. Now, Mr. Green has been in music videos with Taylor Swift, Kesha, Sam Smith, Mary J. Blige, Pitbull. He's been on So You Think You Can Dance, the Jimmy Kimmel Show, The Voice. So he's big time. So the fee for this class is $12. So after you pay, then you get the link to watch the class and to participate in the class. And again, that's later today from 5 to 6:30 p.m. The link and all the information that you need can be found on the Let's Go page. Okay, now let's see, Kevin Baker. Yes, okay. The Streets at South Point, they're hosting a Kevin Baker live watch party. Kevin Baker is a singer-songwriter, very popular. So check this out later tonight, 5 to 7. And this is a free event. The link to watch is on the Let's Go page, and you can watch from the Streets at South Point's Facebook page. All righty. Now, this is happening tomorrow. Oh, shoot. Let me do this real quick. Let me very quickly. Somehow the page didn't refresh. I want to give you all the information correctly. This is for Brother Ray. So let me refresh the page and click on Let's Go very quickly. Hope you can indulge me. I appreciate it. Okay. Scroll down to April 26. Let's see if that works. That worked. Okay. So tomorrow, the celebration of life in honor of Brother Ray, and it's Ray Earhart. It's going to be tomorrow from 1:55 to 4 p.m. It's going to be online. Ray was like a community activist, organizer, just overall great guy. He died of coronavirus. So he will be remembered in this very special online gathering. So they want you to sign up first so you can get the Zoom link for tomorrow. And I suppose they want everybody to get there at 1:55 because they probably want to make sure that everything's working right. I'm sure it actually starts at 2. So there you go. All righty, let's see what else is happening. And my condolences to friends and family of Brother Ray, because he was a great guy. He let me DJ for the grand opening of the community center right there on South Street, right by his house, which, if I'm not mistaken, he helped to open and keep going. He actually ran it for a while. So I'm hoping eventually that community center on South Street will be named after him. I'm just saying that. I'm just a citizen. That's just something I'd like to see happen, for what it's worth. Okay. Now, let me put this down. Okay. So this weekend might be a really good time to prepare your application if you'd like to fill one of the vacancies in one of Durham County government's advisory boards. It's a great way to serve your community and to share your expertise. And in fact, let me go to the legalese page and let you know where the vacancies are. This information can be found on the Word page, which is the nonprofit and governmental page, and also on the legalese page. Oh, I've been getting messages and not even seeing them. Fraser, hello, Fraser. He's in Scotland. Curtis is here. He's originally, like me, he's from Chicago and now living in Texas, I think. But yeah, if you want to join me, please do. But let me finish real quick with these announcements, and then I would love to have you guys join me if you like. So the vacancies in the city, Durham County government's advisory boards are, let me scroll down and read them to you. The Adult Care Home Community Advisory Committee, the City County Appearance Commission, that's, what do you call gardening, not gardening, landscaping and beautification. Durham Open Space and Trails Commission, Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, and the Nursing Home Community Advisory Committee. And the deadline for getting your application in is this Thursday, April 30th. And there's one more, the Durham Sports Commission, and that deadline is next month, May 29th. There's plenty of time for that one. So you might want to, while you're just kind of relaxing this weekend, maybe you can get that application together and do that. Okay, now I already told you earlier this week about New Vision of Africa restaurants food giveaways, weekdays from 3 until 6. But just spoke to Kasib, and he says that there's no giveaways on Saturdays, but on Sundays, there's like a gigantic gift. We're talking groceries, okay? So you can sign up at 12:30, and as you know, there's going to be a long line. Wear your mask and practice social distance, but you sign up at 12:30, start lining up, and then you get to choose what you want. There's usually there's picnic tables right outside New Visions of Africa restaurant. The address and all the information, of course, is on the Let's Go page, which you might already know is right next to W.D. Hill Recreation Center. But boy, oh boy, we're talking giveaways. We're talking groceries. If you're in need, no strings attached, you sign up, with your name. I think they want you to give your age, probably for the government wants to know who you're serving. So do that. If you need help, get it. So don't forget, keep Durham Beautiful's pollinator pocket seed giveaway. Say that 3 times fast. So let me go to the garden page. It's called Garden Shed, Durham Skywriter, and let me give you the details on that. All righty. So it's called the Pollinator Pocket Seed Giveaway. The deadline to sign up is this Thursday, April 30th. And this is where Keep Durham Beautiful will mail you a packet of seeds. And we're talking sunflower seeds. And I already signed up for mine. So you go ahead and sign up for that. The link can be found on the Garden Shed page of the Durham Skywriter. It's durhamskywriter.com. And get your free sunflower seeds. Let's see if I have anything else. I think that's pretty much it. Weather report is 59 right now. It looks like rain, but supposedly it's not going to rain even though it's really dark out. It's 59 and cloudy. It's going up to 66. And then tomorrow it's going to be 75 and partly sunny. Can't beat that. Let me look over my notes and make sure that I didn't leave anything out. Yes, that is it. So if somebody wants to join me, that would be super awesome. And Curtis did tell me, yes, he's in Texas. And check out Curtis, because he's got a YouTube channel where he just shares the word of God in a really eloquent way. So check him out. And Fraser, who is in Scotland, he every now and then he gives tours. Just a couple of days ago, he gave a tour of Edinburgh, and boy, the streets there were really quiet, as they should be, of course. So if anybody wants to join me, let me put the link. Boom. There's the link in the chat. I just clicked on it. So if you would like to click on that and join me, that would be awesome. I'll wait here a couple of moments and see if anybody joins me. And if not, I'll just go on about my business and work on the Durham Skywriter as I always do. So yeah, let's see if anybody joins me. Curtis, come on and talk about your, oh, here's today's shirt, by the way. I just show off my t-shirts. Boom, Durham Skywriter, yes. Okay. So Curtis, if you'd like to come talk about what, and also he is the, I guess the word is engineer or producer or director of Tachi's, Dr. Tachi's show Mediascope on Wednesdays on Facebook. And also, like I said, Fraser, you can join me and talk about Scotland or whatever you want to talk about. And his podcast. I think Fraser has a really excellent podcast. He just interviewed, I think, a New York area musician on his latest show. So if you want to come talk about that, you know, you guys got to promote yourselves. Come on. And you Durhamites, I've only had one Durhamite. I've been doing Bull City Hangout for a couple of weeks now. I know we're shy. I know we're Southern, but I'm just saying, people have told me that they are looking for this and that, and they're hoping to get the information out to the people about whatever. And I'm like, come on the show and talk about it. And they're like, oh, shucks. Forget that Southern shyness. If you want to actually promote yourself or do the work of your nonprofit, as this one person said she was doing, get up the courage. It doesn't take much to come on here and just talk. I mean, you're just talking to friends anyway. So it's not scary at all. And I'm very shy, by the way. I know you don't believe it, but yes, I'm very, very shy. So if somebody wants to join me, oh, Fraser's going to pop out for a walk to show us some more scenery. Okay, do that. So we won't be seeing Fraser. I'll check you out later, Fraser. So Curtis is going to join in a moment. I guess he's getting his hair together or whatever. He's going to come join me. And I did put the link up there for you to click on. And by the way, I use StreamYard, and that means that you can join with your smartphone, your iPad, your desktop, or your laptop. So let's see if this works. And let me know if, Curtis, in the chat, if you do click and it doesn't work, let me know. Because a couple of days ago, I was trying to get two friends on, and it didn't work. They both had Androids. I think with Android, you're supposed to use Chrome, and with iOS, you're supposed to use Safari. Here's Curtis. Let's see if this works. I hope this works. Oh, yes, it's working.
Patricia, how are you?
That's new.
How are you? Doing well, thank you. Thank you.
Doing well. I think I hear. You might want to close your Facebook page.
Yeah, it might be my fan. It might be my fan on this old iMac here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'll try to.
The sound is being picked up by your speakers.
Oh, hold on. You know what? Let me turn it down.
And folks, you might have thought, oh shoot, I was going to click on that link, but Curtis beat me to it. Well, 6 people can be on camera at the same time.
Okay.
So
is that any better, Patricia?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Is that better?
So. Yeah, that's better. So Curtis, what's happening in Texas?
Just the COVID-19 is still happening here. As is the rest of the world, and or different.
Have you had any protests?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to it. I don't know. I haven't seen any. I don't watch too much TV, so that's probably Why, I don't know.
Okay, because in Raleigh, there were quite a few protesters, and the funny thing was not funny, but here's the thing: they're upset about not working because they say they're going to lose their homes and whatnot. Well, they shouldn't be angry at a government that's trying to keep them safe. To me, if you're worried about making your mortgage, the state should be backing the mortgagers so that they can allow you to tack on any missed payments at the end. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Absolutely.
It's like they're mad about the wrong thing.
Well, there was someone. I don't know the individual, but there was someone who recently did more like it was a, it was I don't know if it was a pre-recorded video or if it was a live stream or whatever, but it was more like a rant, and it was pretty interesting. I mean, he said a lot of curse words, but he was actually spot on. He said the very same thing that you just said in regards to with people with with mortgages and things of that nature, or businesses, but primarily with people with mortgages, where you can take the first 3 payments, put them on the end. So if their mortgage is due, or the end of their mortgage is due 2023 or January 2023, it's now due April or something like that, or May or something like that.
But here's the goofy thing, though. I was saying I think he was saying at the end of the contract.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Unless you can pay double, if you can double up, and you can catch up probably.
Right.
But oh shoot, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I forgot. I was just going to say something, but anyway, the mortgagers are one thing, but of course, not everybody has a mortgage. Some people have rent,
Sure.
and I know that the market is much more favorable to people paying mortgages than people paying rent. Oh, I know what I was going to say about the mortgagers. It's tough because there are some. Not everybody is able to withstand lost income. I understand that. Because when I was a business, a building owner rather, I had tenants, and my tenants were late. It was like in June, I think it was, because I know it was when school was out.
In Chicago, Pat?
Yeah, in Chicago.
Okay.
And so they were ducking me, and I finally caught up with them, and we had a nice conversation. I basically told them, I said,
I'm not. Tackle them?
Huh?
Did you have to tackle them?
Oh no, not a violent person. And it's a 2-flat, so I mean, I was going to catch up with them sooner or later, come out the door. Right. But I told him, I said, I'm not a rich chick. I said, basically, I need your rent so that I can pay my mortgage and keep the building. Right. It's not like I'm playing golf and out of my yacht with your rent money. I said, I actually need it.
Even if that was the case, but hey.
Yeah. But she had an interesting explanation. The husband worked at the schools, but because he was a maintenance man and not a teacher, he was essentially unemployed during the summer. And so their summers were very lean. And I said, I totally understand. Just let me know if it's going to be late. Because he was a hardworking dad, and he got the money together, but they were late every month during the summer. And they weren't late to the point where I was missing my mortgage payments. They were just late, according to the lease.
Right.
And it was all cool. It's just like, well, just talk to me, and we'll work it out. And I have a feeling that a lot of small building owners like myself, that missed income that's rough.
Yeah, sure.
But just think, if you're a mortgager and some of your homeowners are missing their payments and they lose their homes, well, who in this day and time can buy a house right now? You know what I mean? It's best just to keep them to help them out and wait for payment down the road than to have them completely out of the picture because they lost their home.
It does make sense, but I think that some people don't understand that. They don't get that concept. Rather than have to have a fraction of something, or at least it's postponed for a time. To have that versus have nothing, because now they've got their, they've got their bills obviously to pay, just like, the renter or the homeowner. So I think people is kind of like, again, not in all cases, but a lot of times people are more like, well, if I'm not getting this, I don't know when I'm going to get this, or if they're gonna follow through to give me what they say they're going to give me when that time comes.
Right.
So I'd rather just have nothing.
Well, it's not just nothing, because you have to pay.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
You have to pay to evict someone.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I want to say hello to Alfredo. No offense. Again, I'm not going to let you on because I think you're talking about problems that, I don't want to air anyone's problems. But I had to unfriend Alfredo. I still like him. He's still a good guy. But I think he's going through some stuff, and his posts are getting more and more disturbing, and I just don't want to be a part of any meltdown or whatever he's going through. So I wish you well, Alfredo. Still your friend, even though I'm not friends with you on Facebook. But I'm not going to let you on because I think you need to work on whatever it is you need to be working on. Again, I don't like to air out anybody's laundry in public. So yeah. So anyway, I'm just going to very polite.
So Pat, you are doing a lot of different things here online lately, and is it just because of this situation, or were you already heading in this direction of? Because I've just been seeing your Durham Skywriter all over the place.
Well, here's the thing. Usually I do Bull City Notes, and that's like a 5-minute show, which most people can't see live because I'm in and out so quick, right? So I've been doing that every day, although for the past couple of months, I've been absent because I've been just inundated with stuff.
Sure.
But with Bull City Hangout, I'm just like sitting here just shooting the breeze with people. So I'm easier to catch live. And now it looks like, wow, she's everywhere. But yeah, so what I'm trying to do with Bull City Hangout is to give people a chance to talk with an adult. Some people are just inundated because they're with the kids all day, trying to educate their kids, trying to feed them. There might be an angry or despondent spouse in the household, and they might not have anybody to talk with. Alfredo, come on now. Come on. Okay. I'm not going to let you on, Alfredo. No offense. No, I had to kick him out again. Bless his heart. I hate to do that, but some people, I guess, I don't know. We all have different problems.
Absolutely.
And it's difficult. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with Alfredo. Bless his heart.
Well, let's talk about
let's talk about something else. Yeah.
The things that you're doing.
Yeah, as far as and thank you for steering me away. But as far as the Skywriter, it's still online. It's still DurhamSkywriter.com. Okay, but with Bull City Hangout, again, I'm trying to give people a chance to shoot the breeze, hang out. If a lot of people are really lonely and really suffering, and they can't leave the house except to go grocery shopping or whatnot. So yeah.
Well,
that's what I'm trying to do with Bull City Hangout.
But Pat, it's interesting the psychology behind it because of all what's happening, because I think that oftentimes in life, when there's so much noise around us, be it our personal lives, be it going to a job, having to. Hi, Barb. How are you?
Hi. It's been a while.
Hey, Barb.
Seeing you, Curtis.
Likewise.
Yeah.
What's new?
So, well, we started a very cloudy morning. The Corgi kids are outside. I'm exhausted already because it started about 5:30 with them, and I think they're still taking a nap. But I wanted to let you know about something. I don't want to interrupt the flow of conversation, and so I'll wait. I'm interested in what Curtis has to say.
Oh, okay. I almost lost my train of thought now, but I think I was going to say is that it's interesting in regards to the dynamics of, or at least the psychology behind all of what's happening. Oftentimes when we're at home or in our personal space with our loved ones, our family, there's all this noise, just life, our stuff, their stuff, mama this, daddy this, or whatever, honey, baby, and all this. Can you do this? Blah, blah, blah. So all this noise. And obviously when we go to our respective jobs, there's all this noise, commotion, just the drive to work, the drive from work to home, whatever, the drive to the grocery store. And it's so interesting is that when certain things are taken away from us, or at least due to this situation that we're currently in, there's less noise. And because there's less noise, often we find ourselves having to really look at ourselves. And it's hard it's sometimes, not all of us, but sometimes it's hard to look at ourselves because we can all be so, and I think it's just human nature, even even back, in the garden, the woman made me do it, kind of thing, that pointing the finger to someone and say, hey, it's because of them. And I think that we have a great opportunity to just kind of, if you're wanting to change something about yourself or what you're going through, or a different perspective, or at least begin to start that process, we have to learn how to be comfortable with the noise, and less noise, and know that it's okay to have less noise, and that less noise is really a wonderful option, a wonderful opportunity to hear what is going on. One of the things I lived in Las Vegas for many, many years. And one of the things, again, through psychology, what they do when you walk into a casino, you hear all this noise, and most of the casinos, and I would say, I can't say all, but a good part of the casinos, they don't have clocks. And so the noise
no clocks?
No clocks.
They're not visible, right?
Absolutely. They're not visible. Absolutely.
You lose time when you go in.
Yes. And with all the noise,
point.
it becomes a distraction.
Well, they don't want you to know the time.
Absolutely.
Wow. What?
Absolutely. And so just think, even what we're dealing with right now, it's less noise. Now it's an opportunity to hear the music or hear the background vocals and say, oh, wow, they sound great. They really, just such as life in regards to hear all those instruments, those things that we didn't hear before, and make sense of them and begin to just hopefully refocus and get in tune with the music that's really being played.
Nice. I love what you have to say there.
Chris.
Hey, tell us about your YouTube channel.
Oh,
because I got to watch you.
Yeah, and now I can thank you in person. Thank you for your very, very nice comments, Pat. I really appreciate that. That really, really encouraged me. I really appreciate that. But as a Christian, my YouTube channel is The Promise Keeper, and so I started that channel. My background has been in ministry, and so I started that channel. Finally, I started that channel. I actually started producing more content on a regular basis. So I actually had a channel, but I've just started producing content more on a regular basis, so that I'm kind of getting to the place where I need to be at.
So are you appearing more because you're more comfortable now that you're occasionally appearing on camera with Tachi?
Well, I honestly, I would say probably like a lot of us are dealing with things. And well, wait a minute now. I'm in a situation and the pressure is mounting, for different areas of life, and I got to do something. I've got to, I've got to just, Lord, give me boldness, give me that spirit of, I can do it. I'm an introvert, to be honest. I think I heard you say earlier, Pat, about you're shy, and I'm shy too. But I'll do what I need to do to, make things happen. And so with this situation, again, like with a lot of us, it's the pressure is forcing the wonderful things that are already in us. It's forcing them out into the forefront, into the public, and everyone says, wow, she does this. Oh, great. What a wonderful job. How awesome is that? Sing more of Pat. Sing more of Barb. How awesome is that? So yeah, I think it's a great
Or Curtis.
or Curtis, but I think it's an opportunity for a lot of us to really just stand out and know that the pressure is, though it hurts, it's painful, it really causes us to be our best.
Yeah.
To reach into that ability that's in every last one of us, whether you believe in God or not. So that ability in all of us to reach in to grab hold of it and take it, take life by, by every opportunity that's being presented, and that know that the pressure is, though it seems like it may not be intentional, but it came for a reason. It's here, and and the best can come out of us from this pressure.
Well, this might sound really weird, but one reason why I like, do you call them sermons? Because it's like you're talking, but it's like not quite as formal as a sermon.
Yeah,
what do you call what you do on YouTube?
Just I'm a believer, and I said on my father's side of the family, they're pastors and preachers, and have been for many, many years. They have churches and things of that sort. And I also ministered for a while some years ago. But for me, I think I really had to come to grips with that, that my message was different from the popular message. And I'll explain that really quick, meaning that a relationship with God, or to know God, to know Jesus, is a relationship. It's about a relationship, much like the three of us are talking here, about building a relationship. And sometimes in the midst of relationships, there are going to be disagreements. Obviously, it's life. But there's one thing Apostle Paul says in the Bible. He says that we're to work out, praise the Lord, we're to work out our, you get me started, Pat. We're to work out our salvation with fear and trembling. And that fear and trembling is not in the space of fearing God. No, that fear and trembling is that, wow, that to be without God is to lose my GPS, to lose my signal. And that to be without you and Barb, to have that human connection. Whereas if a person is constantly losing friends or not talking to someone, well, wait a minute. This is what Apostle Paul is talking about, to work out our salvation with fear and trembling, because our salvation is not necessarily based on one particular individual other than God, but because I need you, you need me, we need each other. And to not have that community is really a man beginning the process of building entrapping himself with his own lack of understanding, building his own house, if you will, and he or she is trapped inside of it.
And what I was going to say this might sound weird, because I wanted you to explain what it is that you're doing on YouTube exactly, because this sounds weird, but listening to what you have to say on YouTube is very enjoyable, because sometimes, I'm going to sound critical of the church when I say this, I'm going to say it anyway. Sometimes church services are more like religious entertainment, and sometimes I just want the word. Sometimes the music is wonderful, and the pretty hats, the Easter bonnets and all that kind of, and everybody's dressed up, and
right.
Sometimes I don't want all that. I just want the word. And listening to you it's nice, because there's no distractions, there's no hollering, there's no people dancing, and I'm not saying that's bad, because when you're there, it's probably really fun.
Right.
But sometimes I'm not even looking for that.
I think it's also important to know that there's different ways that we learn. Some or we receive messages. Some are more by touch. We need to physically touch it. We need to visualize it. We need to hear it. And so we have, people learn differently. And I would agree with you definitely. I guess in the church, in the way of the church trying to get that message across to us, in some cases, they've definitely gone overboard. Absolutely. And I certainly would agree with you on that.
But sometimes people do need that too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying they shouldn't do that. I'm just saying
sure.
sometimes I'm just glad now with YouTube and people like you that now there's alternatives and different ways. You don't always have to enjoy the Word of God in the same traditional way that has, that you've been doing for decades. That's getting dressed up, going out to church, having to sometimes endure the mime dancers and stuff, and that's cool.
That's line cool. Dancers,
I mean the mime with the white gloves.
Oh, I just said line dancers. I'm sorry.
No, not the. I don't think they're doing that in church. But the mime dancers with the white gloves. I never saw that until I moved down south. But I think it's beautiful, but sometimes that's not what I'm looking for. So I really like living in this time when you can go to whatever church you want and get whatever kind of service you want, or you can just cut to the chase, boom, and get exactly what you want succinctly, boom, from people like you on YouTube.
Well, I think Pat, that again, in this time that we are living in right now, different things obviously are taking place that we are, right in the midst of, right in the middle of it. And regardless of who's doing it and or who it is, we're in the middle of it. And the pressure from this, again, here, what's going on in life, even if this situation we weren't dealing with this, our own individual pressures that again, that's mounting upon us. And oftentimes it's because there's something that we need to do, something that we should be doing. And for me, it was the ministry. And we can, again, we talk about the church with all of the music and the mime and all this stuff, whatever. They can too, as wonderful and awesome as they are. Sometimes, like you said, they're needed, but then sometimes
you just want to sit quietly.
Absolutely. And then sometimes those things can be a distraction from the actual message. And
of course, now that we can't leave the house.
Yes.
Now churches are trying to find really novel ways of continuing their ministry online. In fact, Holy Cross Church right down the street, the Catholic Church here in Durham, they're figuring it out this week. And I think they're going to do their first live stream tomorrow if everything works out. I've been trying to help them a little bit, but they're figuring that out right now. My niece's church in Lake Forest, Illinois, they have really figured it out in terms of having the service at the priest's house, not priest, minister. Anyway, at the gentleman's home, and then the music is in the church separate, and they're really being clever now. These different churches,
absolutely,
while still remaining safe.
Absolutely, the pressure allows us. The pressure really brings out creativity, and and that's. I mean, it's such as life. And oftentimes, if there was no pressure, guess what? We wouldn't do half the stuff that we're doing now.
Exactly. And now the young folks are being sought after for their expertise on internet and live streaming, I bet.
Absolutely.
So at one point, Barb, you wanted to say something, I could tell, but you couldn't jump in. So.
No, and it's amazing how in alignment with this conversation it actually is. What happened, because I knew you were a DJ also. Do you remember that conversation? We were talking about that in groups and so forth. And, I'm one of the Facebook Power admins. And in that group, they were talking about the quarantine karaoke group. She brought that up because it was featured on Zuckerberg's announcement about connecting community. And back in 2000, I founded the American Karaoke Guild. And I
Did you
have
now?
probably 30 domains that are related to karaoke. But
Wow.
in the year 2001, I turned 50, and I said to my husband, just for us, and I said, I would like to have a recording of our favorite songs for each other. So when we get
Oh.
old,
Aw.
ooh, but so, as time passes, we can look back and say we did this. And my husband had been in a band in Vietnam, and
Wow.
and he told jokes about
Uh-oh, I think Barb froze.
Yeah.
Oh no, Barb, no. Barb. Oh no.
it about
Oh, there you go. Okay.
it refreshed all of us.
Okay.
So
Oh,
that
okay.
was
I
StreamYard.
feel refreshed.
um so he had gear, but he wasn't as where I'm going with it is he did not profess to be a singer. And so he would tell jokes through the years about all he could do was Papa Mau Mau, over and over again, right? And so I was brought up singing from childhood. My dad
Okay.
was knew Elvis Presley. He had this whole history in country music, along with the rest of his life story, and so I was very much into that. So my husband in that year, and of course this is before 2001, but we're going into that, right? We're in spring, and I said, so this is 2001, it's spring, and I said, let's go to Tennessee and record an album.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Whoa.
And my other story, I had a company and everything. So, and I just said, because I've spent all my life online, it'd be a great time to meet some of the folks in person. So if we just travel, not fly, but just travel by car, we can meet up with lots of folks and have a real adventure and carry through with this. So we did, and we ended up recording in the studio in Knoxville, Tennessee, that was Willie Nelson, where Willie and Dolly and a bunch of people had recorded. But it was just a vanity CD, right?
That is wild.
And so
that sounds like celebrity status.
So
yeah.
Well, you'd have to hear us singing. But fast forward to today. So I stopped singing probably, it was the year before Blab, I think, right at that time, because I was being a caregiver. I kept, because there's so many sad songs, and when as a singer you have your you put your whole heart into it, and so here I am singing a song and tears coming out. I said, well, that's not going to work.
Oh no.
So I put it all down. And so now, last night in this group that came up, and they have, in a period of a couple of weeks, gotten over 600,000 members. And
wow.
There are thousands of posts every day.
Wow.
Quarantine karaoke, you have to look it up. It's public, so you can.
I'm definitely going to look that up.
But anyhow, I ended up joining the group this morning, and you know me, I said, the last thing I need to do is join another group. I got so much responsibility, but singing is near and dear to my heart. And I discovered an artist, a music artist who actually lives in Knoxville, Tennessee. And it was as a result of that Shmuel karaoke that's on Facebook. Have you heard of it? SMLE. I put it in our Born to Stream Live group at one point. I talked about karaoke just briefly. Anyway, that's already on Facebook. So this video was shared from the person had recorded from using that app. You can get that app on your phone, whether it's iOS or on Android. And evidently you can share it to YouTube as well, because he's got them on. I'll have to research that a bit more from the techie side. But the bottom line to it all is that last night, because I think Curtis knows I'm a Christian as well. But anyway, last night I haven't dreamed in a long time. And that, since having cancer and conquered that and all, it was one of the things that went away. I didn't dream. I slept soundly,
Good.
didn't have any dreams. And I thought, you know, as a Christian, I thought, what are you leaving me out for, Lord?
No, you're,
you know,
you're probably having dreams. You just don't remember them because you're sleeping so
self-talk,
soundly.
you know, and it's like, and then I would hear God saying to me, you need your sleep, rest.
Right.
You know, so I was like, okay. It's like, I don't want to tell people about the God voice in my head because it goes absolutely nuts. And so what
Sleep,
happened?
my child.
Yeah, last night, in the middle of the night, I wakened from this dream because 3 of the people that I had lost that were in my karaoke family, because I built up a really large, I mean, we were featured around in the media public, you know, the publications and so forth and so on, back in those days. And so 3 of them are in heaven. Well, I assume because I saw them all as angels. So
yeah,
last night, but they were talking. It was just the weirdest thing because to even have this dream, you know, where it came from, and they were talking to me and saying, now is the time. Now is the time. Music is what we need. Music will heal the world. And I started well, I've got tears in my eyes now, but I'm like crying in bed. I'm like, you know, that was very healing for me, even in the cancer story, because in having to deal, you know, I went to church through a virtual world. I became an avatar, and it was all through the American Cancer Society, that whole adventure. And so I could not go physically into a church building at that point in time.
But you can do so online.
But virtually, I could get, as you said, dressed up in the hat and, you know, to appear and, you know, and it's set in church. And I mean, it was a real pastor, real people and everything. But, you know, the visual aspect of it were avatars.
Cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
And so, but if I were talking to you back then, it's like that woman has lost her mind.
Well, just ahead of your time.
Not you think differently now, but you know, it was really profound. And now it's not that far out there. Because the visual aspect is one thing. It's like I said from the early days on, it was connecting the voice. The voice, think again, not just talking, but singing and you know, that message. So it's really profound that this would happen. But I wanted to tell you about that group and how, you know, you just, even if you don't join the group, is just browse it, because it was amazing the talent that is there. And I'm like, because Patricia knows the other side of me about being very techie, is like you wonder, well, there are rights to that music. Somebody needs, you know, the music that is being played.
Oh yeah,
instrumental sounds in that, and it's being streamed through. And I'm saying, well, you know, the most brilliant thing that, so Facebook has made a point for karaoke now. They put it in their ad program, and I thought Facebook needs to go get those rights for the karaoke singers for the music, because we could have it in all our groups.
Right.
You don't need to have it in a quarantine karaoke group, because when you think about your life and the times of joy, even in family units, singing brings us together. Remember when little kids,
if you can sing,
Alzheimer Smith, you know what I'm saying? It's all those from the time we were little kids, and but positive music,
right?
And so, and of course, I saw a song from Michael Jackson that just really tore me apart in this vision, and I just said, "There's something to this." And so I wanted to point out the group and what it did to me.
I typed it in the description for people to check it out.
Yeah, I wrote it down too myself.
So I will definitely, I won't be joining, but I will be checking it out because I can. If you heard me sing, yeah.
Well, I did just to get. I mean, the fellow that runs it is also one of the Facebook Power admins, but I wanted to get the notifications to share the talent out.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why I did it, because I don't have time to be in there singing. And
that would be an awesome show.
And yeah. Because I also remember back in the Blab days, and we were told to pick up the .live domains and all that. Do you remember?
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
that's right.
So one I picked up was openmic.live.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, and so I thought, because someday I would get back to singing, and I just know so many amazingly talented folks.
Absolutely.
I thought it would be, but isn't that something?
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what happens. I can imagine a show going viral.
Well, this one, I'm going to share this video to my profile, and you can check it out. Okay. But I'm into country. Country and jazz. I'm into all of it, but I'm really into country. Okay. And
who's your favorite?
But this song is a parody of Margaritaville.
Jimmy Buffett.
Right. And it's a parody. Yeah, okay. And it's had over 6 million views. Ooh. And the fellow who wrote the parody sings it. Whoa. And he is based in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And part there. And as I don't know if Curtis knows this or not, but I'm really into ballooning. And one of the big ballooning events we got, Patricia is aware of in North Carolina, but also Tennessee has ballooning.
Mm-hmm. What is ballooning?
The hot air balloons with the
air balloons. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when you say ballooning, the first thing that comes to mind.
Making dogs and kangaroos. And,
yeah.
Latex balloons.
Yeah, just
party balloons.
Just.
I guess I look at that as balloon,
balloon art.
Balloon versus ballooning.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But that's just me. I'm,
That's fine.
And I think as a community, it's pretty much. Mm-hmm. But ironically, the group that Patricia's in, that I do most of my ballooning work in, mm-hmm. is actually called Balloon Talk.
Now, do you actually go up as well?
Not anymore. After the cancer story, because I've been kind of reconstructed. Not kind of, I have been, and because they, it's like it did some irreparable damage. So that unless it's a day I'm planning on just wanting to check out, or something.
Right.
I don't know. I'd probably take the risk, but that'd be crazy. Right. I don't want to make it a period of sadness for someone else. And
I'd like to go up in a balloon one day.
It's it is the most godlike feeling, the most heavenly feeling that you can have on earth, I think.
My mother is actually into that. She loves ballooning.
Yeah. She's been up in a balloon.
Yeah, she's been up several times. My mom has. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
She's been up several times.
That's great. So she cruise for a balloon, or she just as a spectator goes up and. She probably does some volunteer work, I'd imagine, if she's been.
Yeah. I don't know so much of the volunteering, but I she's actually went to some of their festivals or different events that they have, and actually went up a few times. And so
wow,
because usually that's
awesome. I want to do that one day.
Yeah, I have to. Well. It was great to connect with you again, Curtis.
Yes,
absolutely.
Nice seeing you, Barb.
I take off. Bye-bye.
Take care. All right. That was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I do Bull City Hangout. And I don't, I'm having so much fun talking to you guys. I don't know when life returns to normal and it's time for me to cut the show back down to 10 minutes.
Do you think it's going to return back to any kind of what we deem as normal? You think
I don't know, because one thing that I have not accomplished yet, and that is attracting Durhamites, as I mentioned earlier. I've had people to tell me, I'm looking, like this one nonprofit, they're looking for people. I think they're, hey, Ryan, they are, if you want to join us, hop on. They are looking for people to address legislators in terms of the losing of their jobs, the fear of losing their homes, or people who are actually in the middle of losing, their homes and whatnot. And even though they're looking for someone, actively looking for someone, and I offered for them to come on the show and talk about it, it didn't happen. And I'm not saying, that's why I'm not saying any names, but this is a wonderful opportunity for Durhamites in particular to talk to other Durhamites.
Right, absolutely.
Because it's not like you can just, WRAL is like the TV station we all go to when we want to find out what's, like, if we hear, oh, something happened in the news, go to WRAL.
Right.
But you can't go on WRAL's website or YouTube page and just shoot the breeze with everybody.
Right.
So here, I have a far smaller audience, but still, I at least offer the opportunity for people to address other Durhamites, because I get views on the replay, maybe not live, but at least on the replay, people can watch. Because I get most of the likes that I get are after the fact, people watching the replay.
When you're talking about this, the first thing that comes to mind is that you're doing some kind of promo video, and just say, hey, reasons why you should consider coming on, or talking with Durham Skywriter. What's your other one?
Well, there's Durham Skywriter, and then there's, Bull City Notes is the name of the 5-minute show. Okay,
so whether you want to come on Bull City Notes or whatever the case might be, but make a promo video and talk about the reasons why they should come on. And because oftentimes it's like, if you think about it, if you're in a community, wherever you may be, oftentimes it's not necessarily always someone who is going to, on the outside, is going to help fix your problem or fix an issue you might be having, because they don't, they don't live there, or they don't know the community. And oftentimes people are reluctant to have strangers coming into the community and trying to do something, or trying to make changes and fix things. And so maybe a promo video could be very helpful in regards to,
I think I'll do that.
Doing those points in regards to what the benefits of talking, sharing your message on video, and specifically talking to you about it.
See, I thought the Durhamites would already know that, especially those who are already following the Durham Skywriter online and also the Facebook page. I thought they would already know, but I guess I shouldn't take that for granted and assume that they know.
Absolutely.
Because I do know most people that I interview when I'm doing formal interviews, for the most part, it's their first time.
Yeah.
It's their first interview, and they're scared.
I would probably, just a suggestion, I would probably, hey, Ryan, what's up?
Hey, Ryan, what's new?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
From
Sorry,
Alberta, from Alberta, Canada.
But good. Hey, Pat, I would probably suggest, again, just doing that promo video, and just put some music to it, make it pop, get people interested, because regardless of the people's age and where they're from, we all like something that's busy. A lot of us, we like something that's busy, that's something that's moving, again, in a way of an introduction. And then once your introduction, now, hey everyone, welcome to Durham Skywriter. My name is Pat, and I'll be your host, or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
You want to, once that promo video ends, and now there's a shot to you, you want to sound just as exciting. Because if not, you'll lose your audience, because that intro is popping, and the music is going, and it's exciting, and it's involved, and then you come on, hey everybody, welcome to.
See, that's what, you put everybody in the mood right before, when Mediascope's coming up, that music.
Absolutely.
Dun, 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 and groovy. Hey.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Ryan, what's happening in Alberta? I know you have why don't you tell us, because you're looking for a makeup artist of different colors.
Yes,
Brian.
Yes, for myself, because you know the skin is so smooth that
Not
you
you
know.
personally.
But yeah, no, we you know, I've been working on for those who don't know, I'm the founder of Hustle Zone TV.
Mhm.
And Hustle Zone TV, the original idea was to create a living documentary. I'd started off
Okay.
with a certain group of people, with entrepreneurs, and they were all out of Florida. It didn't really work really well, you know, with the caliber that we had at the time. But then we kind of grew into an ethno-cultural brand, and we are, you know, extending that living documentary concept to what we're doing now. So I've been planning for the last 4 years, and now we're starting to implement content from different people from all over the world, and
Cool.
from the communities of like the African communities, the Caribbean communities, African American communities,
Mm.
Latino communities, Afro Latino communities. So we're getting.
Isn't the hip new word Latin X? Isn't
Yes,
that the
I
new
know.
word?
I'm working on that. I'm trying.
What's the hip word? I missed it.
Latinx.
Oh,
Yeah.
Latin. Okay, okay.
I'm not sure why, but it's like the hip new thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, we're pretty much bringing together everyone's individual story to
Mhm.
tell the world we're not a monolith. We're all different. And
Mhm.
so eventually you guys are going to start seeing content from different people, different stories, and we're going to edit it and create a storyline out of it. So, you know, I'm
Cool.
super excited. But right now what we're focusing on is makeup, you know,
Mhm.
from every continent, from every country, from different cultures. Like, you know, how do you do your makeup? What does beauty mean to you? And we're going
That's
to do
nice.
a
I like that,
collection
man.
of these videos.
I like that. That's cool. Good
And,
idea.
and at first, I actually questioned whether this is the time to do it because we can't go out. And I instinctively put on lipstick when I'm heading out the door. Then I realized I have to wipe it off because I have to put a face mask on. But then I realized two things. One, a lot of us are now online for the first time, on screen, on camera, and we don't want to look crazy. And then number two, this is a great way for makeup artists to expand their business so that when life does return to normal and we no longer have to wear the face masks, we can seek their expertise.
Yeah.
Although I was wondering if, because so many of us ladies are now putting on less makeup or no makeup, I wonder if some of us are getting used to our natural faces and are starting to like them more so that they might not have to attack their faces with brushes and all kinds of things, which is great for those who love makeup because I do like to watch sometimes those makeup videos. Sometimes I laugh because they're just doing so much. But again, I'm a natural kind of girl and I know we're all different. And
Yep.
I'm actually interested in makeup and fashion, even though I myself don't reflect that in any way. but it's still interesting. It's still
Yeah.
interesting. And I recognize their importance to to some people.
Yeah, and it's a booming industry on YouTube. You know, there's tons of women wanting to learn how to do their eyebrows, how to do different things. And Monica Black Diamond, who has been working with me on several different projects, you know, she is a makeup artist, and I was like, well, let's start with you. Like, let's start with your talents and show people that you're not just because a lot of men will approach her in the DMs when she comes onto my show, and we don't want to establish that narrative. We want people to show she's a strong woman, she's a businesswoman, and that she's very talented at what she does, and she can educate.
She's not looking at people to want to holler.
Yeah.
Right.
She just wants to build. She doesn't, she's like, she asked me, she's like, do people look at me because of my looks? I'm like, no. And we're not going to establish that. Yes, she's pretty, but that's, but we want to focus more what's in here and not what's out here.
Yeah.
So, the whole makeup project, she's kind of the one that brought that idea. And I think it's great. I think that a lot of women want to learn, and, they're going to continue to watch those videos.
And I love the production in that you have different, it's just not one person. Usually it's just one person in the bathroom, but yours has more like different scenes and different angles and stuff. And I love how you have the letters Uruguay spinning or whatever it's doing across the top of the screen. That's cool.
Yeah. We're bringing it. We're like, we've been planning. I invested thousands of dollars in the production, the tools that I'm using for production, and we're now you're gonna start to seeing high level content so that I can kind of materialize the vision that I've had all this time. It's just to give that rich experience when we're talking about our culture. Because I think the one thing that I will say is, like, you see what's happening in China with Africans being pulled out of their homes and whatnot.
I saw that. Yeah.
We're often I don't, what's the word? Why can't I come? Like, we are being like, when it comes to people from our cultures, the news does not do us justice, and we just want to have an alternative. I'm not saying that it's not being done by Essence Magazine, not being done by a lot of the other cultural magazines and media outlets. It's just that we need more. We just need more representation, and we're just going to provide additional content.
From a positive standpoint, because lately when they're talking about people of color, it's like, oh, they're all dying, and they're all sad, and and it's like, actually, a lot of people are saying Black folks in particular are dying more of coronavirus than anyone else. But then on Facebook, you see story after story of people of color, Black people in particular, begging, calling hospitals repeatedly saying, I know I'm sick. I feel like I'm dying. Help me. I need to take a test. And they're like, oh, no. And well, yeah, don't come in. Just, wait 5 or 6 days or whatever. And then they die.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a contributing factor.
Yeah. And
the fact that they're being repeatedly turned away from getting medical treatment.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, even in Toronto, there is a large population of people that are dying there. And, there's a lot of Black people there. My grandfather just died 4 days ago.
That's right. I'm so sorry. Yes.
Brian. Sorry to hear that.
Wow.
Oh, well, thank you. But it's just terrible. And we're also, and then it's a loaded conversation. I think that, I'll kind of talk about the implications of, like, even the foods that these hospitals are providing for their patients, but there's just so many variables. But it's really sad to see that, these communities are being targeted, and then, and governments are not really doing much about it. And then there's people, I've seen videos of people being outside parlaying and partying and whatnot. You're like, did they get the memo?
No.
Right.
They got the memo for the party.
Right.
And there's people protesting shoulder to shoulder with guns. Obviously not Black people, but I mean, with guns and signs. Now, some of these signs are really interesting. People have pointed out that these signs aren't, I want to go back to my job. They're saying, I need a haircut or I want a manicure. I'm like, well, they want us to go back to work. I get it. They don't want necessarily go back to work. They want to be serviced.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah. So it's not like they, you know what I mean?
It's like fix your sign first, then.
I don't know.
I
never looked at it like that.
Yeah, I knew that until she mentioned that. That's funny though.
Yeah. I just report on what I see.
That just made my day. That makes so much sense. It's like, they're protesting. They're like, we want Wendy's.
Exactly.
We want
my nails are getting long. My God.
Okay, who's gonna pay for Wendy's?
Not me.
Yeah.
That is hilarious, though.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
But yeah, Pat, you've been on a roll anyways lately. When you were during Mediascope, you've been on a roll.
I'm just having fun. I'm just a girl having fun.
Maybe just the natural comedian is coming out of you now.
Well, actually, this is really weird, but I grew up in a household that really valued laughter.
Yes.
And we were taught, our parents sat down and talked to us about it, but through just watching our parents, we just realized there's always something funny about whatever's happening in the world. And
Right,
always
right.
make a joke about it. In fact, let me tell you a story about when my brother died. That's probably the most devastating thing that ever happened in my entire life. He was 21, I was 26, happened a while ago. So he died. We were all devastated. It was an accident. We weren't expecting it. Okay. Day of the funeral, there was a, we're getting dressed, ready for the funeral. There was someone at the door. I went to answer the door, and it was the funeral home delivering the programs. So we would have, programs to pass out after the service, after the funeral. So I was only 26. I didn't know any better. I shouldn't have burdened my mom with this, but what are you going to do? So I'm upset. I'm looking at the program, and I'm like, Mom, they spelled remembrance wrong. And I shouldn't have burdened her with that. She just lost her only son, right?
Right.
So see, she hesitated. And she said, well, if David were alive today, he would have spelled it the same way.
That's funny.
How did you come up with that? Oh my God.
Wow. That's pretty sharp.
So I'm laughing and crying. Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
So if you can find humor in something as devastating as that, life's gonna be good. You gotta make life. You just gotta go with it.
That's funny. Your mom was like, wait a minute, this is the way David would have spelled it.
That is too funny.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God, so typical. Ooh, that's one of my best stories.
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to split on this one here because I'm gonna actually jump in another webinar. So.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
When is your next sermon or video or Promise Keeper video?
Right. I don't know. I might do one I actually might do one tomorrow. I'll see. I might do one tomorrow.
See, people, we're entering the second month. People are really feeling the despair right now. They're at the point where they're out of money, a lot of people, and they are, domestic violence is on the rise,
yes.
depression's on the rise. Supposedly suicide. I haven't heard any suicides, but they're saying people are, at least in China, have committed suicide. I don't know.
Yes.
So I think people need, they might not, like we were saying earlier, they might not need the church service with the dancers and the singers and the music. They might just want someone like you to just boom, give them some encouragement. Share some word of God with them, some encouragement. That's what people they want. They probably wanted to sit quietly because music sometimes can. If you're depressed, music can make you more depressed sometimes because it's like, what are they so happy about?
Right.
They might want to sit quietly and have someone who's calm, measured, encouraging like you to just talk softly to them and just, encourage them that everything's going to be okay. And you know what I mean? Amen. That's what a lot of people need.
Absolutely.
Seriously. And I would definitely, I'm not feeling any pain right now. I have to admit that I, as of last year, finally started getting Social Security. So for the first time, I'm paying my bills on time. Just kidding.
Yeah.
So I'm not feeling a lot of pain right now. I'm not making any ad revenue.
What does David Chappelle say? I'm rich.
Well, totally not rich. If you know my work history, people looking at what I bring in Social Security, they probably say, bless your heart. But anyway, here's the thing. All of my DJ gigs have been canceled. I'm not making any ad revenue, but I am pulling in a couple hundred with Social Security. My bills are being paid, and I'm not going hungry. I'm blessing my old people, my 95-year-old crew that I hang with. I'm blessing them with skillet cornbread. So life is good.
Right.
Life is very good right now. And so I'm trying to, with Bull City Hangouts, I'm trying to encourage people to reach out and just join me and just talk.
Yeah.
I think, like I said,
I want them to check you out
like I said, Pat, I think if you get that promo video popping with some music and
I'm gonna do that.
some transitions within the promo video, and maybe your voice, a voiceover of some sort within for the intro, and then bam, you got a camera on you. Hey everybody, welcome to Durham Skywriter. My name is Pat, and blah blah. Got a
I need
show
to do that.
So
I will definitely do that. Thank you, Curtis.
absolutely.
So, actually, I want people to check out Brand Savant. That is Ryan with Hustle Zone TV. Is Hustle Zone one word? Or
Hustle Zone is 3 words.
oh, so Hustle Zone TV.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So I definitely want people to check you out on Facebook and YouTube. And are you on any other like Instagram and
We're on Instagram. That's where we get majority of our fan base from. We have we have a one for entertainment, and that's more comedy and cultural memes that passing around, like in the hip hop community and whatnot. And then we have another account that just focuses on Black excellence. So both of them are supposed to balance each other out, because one is not, it's more for laughing purposes, and not everything is, your pastor will, smile at. But then we balance it with Black excellence. And they both do very well. One has 12,000, the other one has 17,000. So so
what do you do? So every day you do a little 60-second video, or do you talk at length? Or
well, what we've been doing, we've just been recycling memes that other people have been posting. So just to build up the fan base. And then what we're doing with the clips that we've been working on, whether it's the makeup tutorials and whatnot, we're going to start massaging that into the content strategy and eventually make it the primary thing. But you kind of have to because I was trying to figure this out. I've been testing for quite some time, trying to figure out, like, how do I get these clients? How do I get these people to look at my content? And I'm like, well, first off, like, what is it that they like? And I started there. So I started posting stuff that they like. And then eventually that's how I built the audience. And now they see the brand, they see the logo. So when I post content, now they're starting to flock to our content. So, it's a long-term strategy, but it works.
Let's say hi to Fraser. He's at the beach. Where are you?
Hello, I'm at Crammond Beach, the area where
Scotland.
Yes, in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Show us a little.
It's a bit of a grassy beach. There is a beach there.
Nice.
This over here is Crammond Island. So when the tide goes out, you can actually walk over there. But obviously they've blocked it off recently due to the situation at the moment.
Sure.
But this is you can walk along. A lot of people obviously cycling, walking.
Nice.
This takes you along the east coast, down the way, down here.
Nice.
This takes you to the usual car park, and there's we've got some Roman ruins from
Roman ruins?
Yeah, just small things where there was a fort being built before they abandoned Scotland back down to near England again.
Okay.
So that area.
So do you live in Edinburgh proper, and is this far away from Edinburgh, or what?
Well, this is kind of I live in the suburbs more. It's more like a 20 minutes from the actual city.
Okay.
But this is Crammond Village. This is the area. I mean, you get the sunset, as you can see. It's coming down across the. This is the harbour.
So it's like 6 o'clock there.
This is Crammond. This is what you call Crammond Dock. So where they dock you own little boats. This over here, this takes you towards Dalmeny, which takes you towards South Queensferry, and the bridges which take you over. It's a bit hazy. Here, hang on. It's a bit of it being a bit hazy. This is all these sort of hills you see over this direction here. That's Fife. That's going north, to north of Scotland. So this is Edinburgh. That's called Fife, which takes you up the way. So this is basically, as you can see, you're getting quite a nice sort of hazy. It's cool but nice in the sun. You get the nice sun with the water. So There we go. So this is Crummond.
Nice. Okay.
But obviously the tide is in. The tide will eventually go out, but you usually can't.
That is so nice.
You can walk across to the island. It's actually got.
Wait. You can walk to an island?
Yes, this tide will go out past the island.
That is cool. That is cool.
What they have along here is where you see the big bollard things. This was built. There's a lot of World War II ruins over there in the war because they were built due to the to stop submarines coming under the water. So that's why. So, but it's just a massive pipe. But they eventually they relayed a lot of it so you can actually walk properly. It was just over there.
That is wild. So it's never. You never have a problem with it ever being overrun by waves.
No. It's you just you have to you have to gauge the time. What you have to do is you have to try and get back across before the tide comes back. Many people do get stranded over there.
Really?
Local Coast Guard to come and fetch you. So
wow.
It does. It's very. If you get a nice hot day and the tide is out, it's brilliant. It's lovely because the view you get is fantastic. So that is
awesome.
You got some ducks down there for you, just if you can see them.
Yeah, I do.
There we go. So this is just I'm just out for a walk and evening walk.
So you are out and about. Actually, I need to take. Well, it's not raining now, but I do need to go out and take a walk. I've been sitting all day.
Yeah.
And Ryan, and it's cold where you are, Ryan, right?
Pardon?
It's cold. It's cold where you are still. Right?
It's sunny now. There's it's springtime, so no snow on the ground.
Oh, good. Okay.
You know, we're getting some good weather. Finally, it took a long time to get here, but we're here.
Have you been taking walks?
You know what? I was doing taxes and doing document management and scanning and all this other stuff, so I haven't been able to actually go out and get a walk yet, but I am working on it.
Inspired by Fraser. I might not do live streaming because I don't know what I would show off. I can show off an old warehouse, I guess. I don't live in a picturesque part of town. So but what I might do with Fraser, I might actually go to a pretty place and do some live streaming. Go ahead.
He's got good, good visuals too. Like the internet connection is pretty.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about because I don't know if I could pull that off. You got an awfully good signal there, Fraser.
Not too bad, yeah. Usually this area is quite bad for signal, but it's okay.
Not bad at all.
This is the village. This is Crummond Village here. So, and obviously when things are as normal before this. You have a nice there's a gallery and a usually a nice coffee shop here.
That's a slate roof, isn't it?
Sorry, say again? Yeah,
that's a slate roof. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, slate roof. You've got usually people dock the boats. I'm going to take a walk up this way towards then head back home. So,
nice.
But the Crummond. So there's a lot of galleries, and you can just walk up the steps.
Oh, that's sweet there. I like that right there.
I like that. People, I'll show you this here just for something
historic.
Yeah, just tells you what it really is. If you can sort of see that enough. So
work and pleasure.
It just tells you a lot of what would have happened way back.
Okay.
Active. So.
I don't know much about Scottish. I know a little bit about Irish history, but not a whole lot about Scottish history.
This is just your.
You know what's really weird, Fraser? This is really weird. But I used to live in Hyde Park, which is the University of Chicago neighborhood on the South Side, and there was a time, you know how there's different ethnic groups or different national groups, and sometimes they all, like for example, when Sargent and Lundy, the company I used to work for, when they switched from architects, they were all mostly white, to computer architects, they were all Filipino for some reason. And there was a time when all of the or a lot of the apartment superintendents, the janitors, maintenance people, for some odd reason, there was a time when they were all Scottish. I don't know if you know
Wow.
that. Yeah. I don't know what was, I think what happens very often is that a couple of people of a certain ethnic or national group find opportunity, and then word of mouth brings in much more. And I think that's happened with Filipino nurses and Cote d'Ivoire and mostly Cote d'Ivoire hair braiders in Chicago. If you go by a hair braiding place, for the most part, they're from Ivory Coast, almost always.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I think when people find opportunities and they bring in their fellow countrymen, and they grab up all the opportunities.
Hey, by the way, I did my ancestry, and I'm 2% Scottish.
Ooh,
So I have. Oh, go ahead.
you need to eat some haggis online on camera for us.
Yeah.
Enjoy some haggis for us.
You know what? That's a good idea. I might just have to put together a platter of all the places that I'm from. I'm like from
That would be cool.
Scotland. I'm from Wales. I'm from Norway. I'm from the Ivory Coast. I'm from Benin, Togo, from Congo, and India. So, yeah.
Cool. Oh, speaking of music, what would really spice up the intro to your show? This is just a suggestion. As the word Uruguay was spinning, I was thinking, wow, that would have been really cool to hear just a snippet of Uruguayan music.
Ah.
It's like a little snippet.
Yeah.
Of copyright free. Now there's a group called OPA. They were real popular when I was younger. They're from, in fact, that's the only Uruguayan group I know. They're called OPA. And then the guys in OPA, when they broke up, they actually worked with Earth, Wind and Fire and the other groups like that. So yeah.
Oh, really?
The Fato Russo brothers. They're probably still in the business. But so check out OPA and George Fato Russo and well, he was first Jorge, now he's George, and then Hugo. Look them up and find their music. You might not be able to use it for your show, but then you can use that to guide you what to choose for music if you ever do something in Uruguay again with an Uruguayan
That's
model.
a really good idea. I'm actually going to do that because, yeah, we got to represent. And it'd be nice to get a taste of everyone's culture. Yep,
There you go.
I agree.
Okay. Well, I'm going to probably get back to work, but I want to see where Fraser's going. Where are you leading us?
I'm going. This takes you towards the River Almond. It takes me eventually back home. So.
Hey, thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan. I'm going to show you if you can. It won't be it's not that long.
Okay.
Well, it will take me about 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes to get. There's a waterfall, so I'll show you the waterfall. But I might if you've got to get back to work.
Yeah, I do have to get back. It's 1:30. So what time is it where you are?
6:30, and you're 1:30.
Okay.
There's nice sun in the river.
That's nice. Wait, let me focus in on that. Yeah, that's nice.
There we go. Just the reflection. It's quite calm.
That's real nice.
Relaxing. So.
I like the sounds of the birds.
Yeah.
Sounds of the birds are really nice.
Oh, quite nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
really?
It's really quite peaceful and relaxing. So I'm just going to walk and get myself back. So that's what I'm going to do. So I take advantage of late sunshine and.
Tell us real quick about your podcast. How can we find your podcast?
Basically, my podcast is called Ramsey Unleashed: Going Beyond Borders. I interview people. My rebranded Crumbs. It'll be coming out for 2 years. It's June. It's June 2018. Wow. Rebranded, and aim is just to interview people from different backgrounds. People who just mainly who have come from nothing to become somebody, and that's kind of the whole point of it. So as to not for me to really talk about me, it's for people to get to know the guest, for their story to inspire somebody who may have been through what they've been through.
So with
And
it being an international show, so people might say, "Ooh, I want to be on Fraser's show." How do they reach you on
Well,
Facebook or Twitter? Or
Facebook, you can find me on iTunes, Ramsey, and go to Podbean, iTunes.
okay,
You'll get me on what's it? You'll find me on iTunes, Podbean, Facebook.
mhm.
Just gonna and go from there. But I mean, it's about the guest. It's about the person to be able to bring their story, their brand, their whatever to the UK, especially when it's like upcoming artists as well. Independent
That's
artists
cool.
may not
That's
have their
very
music here, so it's just and trying to build a community of people to support, and that's it really. I don't really. That's
nice.
enjoy it. It's a bit of fun. It's brings some people together, and if people can get some business out of it, I'm happy days. Brilliant.
Actually, that's really wonderful. In fact, so thanks again, Fraser, for the beautiful scenery to tell us about your podcast. And I love that. That is so pretty.
Right in calm as anything.
That's really nice.
But anyway, right, Pat. You have a good one. I'll speak to you soon. Look after yourself. Stay safe. And
Okay, Fraser, you too.
maybe
Take care.
Since you're free, more free. Well, since you're kind of free, but say get you. Maybe we can have you the Durham Skyracer on my podcast over the next couple of days.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's talk.
Take it easy.
Okay.
All the best.
Thanks, Fraser. Okay, take care.
Bye.
That was fun. Well, that wraps it up. Boy, an hour and a half. That's a long time. I don't know if people watching the replay will watch this to the very end, but if you do, thank you very much. And be sure to read Durham, North Carolina's online community paper, the Durham Skywriter, at durhamskywriter.com if you're in or from Durham. And also if you just want to see what a positive newspaper looks like. So with that, you have a great day. And I will see you, not tomorrow, because tomorrow's Sunday, but I will see you Monday. Ciao for now.